Amazon just released a huge update to the Alexa app, and now all of my previous videos I've ever made about Amazon devices are outdated. So here is your new update video on how to use the Amazon Alexa app and how you can organize your smart home with all of your different devices in different groups and so on. Let's get started. So first you need to make sure that you have the latest update of the Amazon Alexa app, and then we're gonna go into here. And when you go in now, you're gonna get to the home page. So here at the top, you have different organization of devices. You can see locks, cameras, climate, lights, plugs, switches, cleaning, music, and more, shopping list, and you can edit that list as well. So if there's a specific feature that moved that you like to use, you can tap edit here, and here you can choose what is showing up on that top row. So maybe you don't have any locks or you don't want to see some of these features. You can press the button to remove it. And then you can scroll down at the bottom and here you could add some favorite things. So I like to use drop-in a lot. So let's go ahead and add that. Here, let's add the cleaning back in. And then you only have so many. So maybe I don't want cleaning. Maybe I want to go to my devices. Then we can do that as well. Now, if we go back, you can see that it adjusted those at the top and I can tap drop-in and go into the drop-in tab. Then if I want to sort that list, I can go back into edit and I can drag and drop so my favorites can be at the top and the ones I don't use as often down below. So let's add drop-in up here to the top, press back, and that has now been saved. Next, you have activity. So what is happening in your home, what devices have been connected and other things like that. You can use the drop down here to see all of those different activities. And then here you have a new favorites option. Now this is great because you have quick access to the devices you may be using all the time. Maybe it's a light like right here behind me. I can just turn off that light very easily without having to go find it in the app. Or you can quickly connect to devices to use drop-in and other things like that. And you can move other devices that you don't use as much away from the favorites, so they're just kind of there in the background. So here you can go through and edit those. So here on the side, you can tap the star to remove devices, or you can tap and hold to move a device up. And then you also have the option to add more devices into your favorites. So here at the top, you have different groups of devices that I have created before. Here you have different speakers that you can add. Here we have different lights, so everything's organized by categories. Here we have plugs. Here we have different switches. Here we have cameras. So let's say I want to favorite a camera. I can just tap on the star right there. It adds it to the favorite. Here we have thermostats, locks, sensors, and lists. And then you can sort by devices or you can sort by features. So that's great to have that favorites feature. We're just going to tap back and now it has updated those. And then down here, there is a carousel where you can shop Amazon deals. You have the option to get help for 24/7 support. And then here you have other devices that you could connect to learn about them. And then down here, it's showing some other tips and skills that you may want to use. And you can tap see more to learn about other skills and go and find other skills that you want to have access to. Before you had to go into the settings and search for skills, so that is quicker to be able to get to those. Since we're here, let's go ahead and add a skill. So I need to actually link my Ring account. So we're going to tap on the skills, we're going to tap search, and here I'm going to search for Ring. And here I'm going to tap enable to use, and we're going to read about it and then enable the skill, and we're going to log into our account and authorize. Now all of the devices that I have in Ring will be able to be accessed by the Amazon app so that it is now integrated into my smart home. So if you set up any new smart lights in your home or anything, you would go in and link that skill and then it will show up. If you add new devices to the skill, so let's say I add another Ring camera, it will then automatically show up after I have linked the skill. If you're not seeing it, you may need to go and relink that skill. So for the Ring devices, it said it couldn't find any, but there it did have a bunch of devices that are now available. So yes, my device is connected, and that is how you can set up new devices. So now it took us to the devices tab. One more thing in the home tab. So up here at the top, you have the option to tap the plus. So if you get a new device and you want to connect it, you can come in here, you can connect devices, groups, smart speaker pair, you can create lists, you have reminders, routines, alarms, calendar events, you can call, you can make announcements, and you can send new messages. So all of those are right there. And then you can tap on your profile and you can see more about your family and other information that you have and adjust certain favorites and so on, all within the Amazon app. And so here you can add all kinds of things about you. And then down here, it has a list of different favorites. And then you can set other things that you might want it to know about you so that it can personalize your experience when you're using your Amazon speakers. And then up here at the top, you also have the option to add new family members into your home. So that is the profile section. And so let's go back here to the home. Now down here at the bottom right, you have this blue button. So that is how you can activate the Amazon Voice Assistant. But did you just see what I did? You can move it. You just tap and drag it and you can move it wherever you want. So sometimes you might be doing something, it might get in the way, but you can just tap and drag it out of the way. And if you tap on it, you can then ask it questions, typing it out, or tap and do it by voice. And here you can review your voice history, voice response settings, and other privacy controls. But now let's head to the devices tab. Now this is where I have some issues with how Amazon runs smart homes. So if you ever link a skill to the Amazon app and you end up changing the original app device, it will keep that device in here no matter what. It doesn't automatically delete it. So I have a ton of devices that are just disconnected in here because I've deleted them or I did something different. And so there's a big mess that I need to clean up in here. So I'm going to show you how you can organize your devices. But the other problem I have is when you do add a device to a room, it's still going to show up in here. So you can have multiple of the same device, which might be nice in certain situations, but it's also confusing on whether I've added a specific device to a room or not. So let's just go ahead and look at what options are available in the device tab. First off, at the very top, you have the option to change the mode. So you can set the mode to home or away or different things like that. So it's going to automatically adjust routines based on this mode. And you can have that trigger based on your location or time or other things. Now, one other thing I found the other day is in this option, there is a setting where if you're away, it's automatically going to turn off a bunch of lights. So if you have random lights turning off and you're not sure why, you might want to check this. So if you go into the settings here, it shows away lighting. So ready to set up. Mine was turned on and I had a ton of lights set up, but I wasn't really using this. So it could have automatically been turning them off. So here you can type in your zip code to have it automatically adjust for sunset. And then you can choose the lights you want it to trigger. And then, so whenever you're away, it's automatically going to turn off those lights. Now here in the settings, you also have the option to sync modes with the Ring app. So if you set your Ring app to away because you're using your security system, then it's automatically going to show up in here. And then if you have the Astra Home, the new robot, you can also link that in here as well. So those are the settings in the mode option. Now if we go back, next we have groups. So a group is like a room that you would have in your home or maybe a specific area that you have in your home. So if I go into the basement here, let's just see what is in here. So you can see it's categorizing certain things. These are devices that work with the Amazon Voice Assistant. So we have a soundbar, that's great. We have the Echo Show 15, perfect. And then here it's showing different lamps that we may have. So here it's showing a basement lamp. I know what that is. Yes, that is in the other room. And then here it's showing some other devices that are currently unresponsive. And that is because they are just powered off because the light switch is off. So those are okay. And here there is a camera down there. So that room actually looks great. Let's go ahead and go to a different room where we may need to make some adjustments. So we can scroll through and look at our rooms. We also have the option to tap See All, and it's going to pull up all of those rooms. In rooms that have lights, you can simply tap the on off right there to adjust lights in certain rooms. Here we can see these lights are currently off. I can tap the button. It's going to turn the lights on. So we are actually going to go into the home office right here, and we're going to make some adjustments. So here I've connected an Echo Pop in here, that works. And then here I have floodlight 2. I have one other floodlight I need to add. So let's go tap the edit, and now it pulls up every device that I have, and I have the option to bring it here into this group. So one thing is I want to add my Echo Show 10 to this, but it currently is not available. So what I need to do is I need to go into the kitchen where it is, turn it off there, and then come in here and turn that on. We'll do that in a minute, but let's go down here and look for flood. Now this is alphabetical. So there we have floodlight 1. So I want that. That looks great for this one. So we're now going to tap save, and then it's going to add those into our room. So now you can see I have my lights here. If I tap off, it's going to turn off both of those lights. Tap again, it's going to turn both of those on. Next, I need to bring the Echo Show 10 into this room. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to go into the kitchen. So here we have kitchen. Going to tap edit. There we have Echo Show 10. Going to uncheck. Tap save. And now I'm going to tap the arrow. So now I'm going to go back into the rooms, and I'm going to go to home office. And now I'm going to edit. And I'm going to add my Echo Show 10. There we go. Save. Done. So now we have this room set up. If I want to change the lights more, I can come in here. I have color adjustments. I can change the light mode. So that's great. I now have a full room, but I noticed something. When I turn off this light, it's also turning those off. So let's see if we have duplicated some. Yep, so here on the holiday lights, I have a bunch of devices I'm not using. So I can tap edit, I can scroll down, and I'll have to scroll through this big list and find anything that's checked. So here we have a camera 1. I don't need that there anymore. Here I'm looking for flood 2, turn that off. So here we have porch outlet, that is a holiday light. Here we have porch pumpkin, and so on. So I can go through and find any of those lights and then tap save. All right, that looks better. And then here you'll notice there's a little red dot with server is unresponsive. That means the device is currently unplugged, so it can't connect to that. So you may need to go plug in the device to verify that is the device that you want it to interact with. And if you can't find that device, you can go through and delete this. So let me show you how I'm going to go through and clean up the list of devices that I have in my home. So here under the devices tab, you can see all the devices that I have in my home. So you can see a bunch that I have recently added. If I scroll through, you'll see ones that are currently on. And if I scroll down even more, you'll see how many devices I do have. And then you'll see a bunch that have red dots that are no longer connected or they are not responsive. So I have a few options. I can go through and delete them. Let's say here I have a TV. This is a Samsung TV. I currently am not using any Samsung TVs, so I can go through and click the trash can and delete. And that is then going to remove that from my account. Now, if you're not exactly sure what that is that it's connected, if we go in here and I tap on, so here I have one called Broken Blue. So we're going to tap on settings. Here I can see Royal Philips Electronics. So this has to be one of my Philips light bulbs. I believe it's going to be one of the Wiz light bulbs. All right, so here we have one called Claire's lamp. It's unresponsive. So if I hit settings, you can see that is from eTech City. And I don't really know which one this is currently right now. So I can just turn it off, or I can come up here and disable it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Now, instead of scrolling through this whole list to find different devices, I do have some options to sort up here at the top. I can choose the device type that I'm looking for. And then I could also go through and sort by the newest, the oldest added, A to Z, or Z to A. So that should help you as you go through and find and connect more devices to get everything sorted into your home. Because as you can see, I don't have this many devices. I have quite a few, but I definitely need to go through and sort these more. So another thing I'll do is I'll walk around the house. I'll go to the rainbow light. I'll hit on, make sure the rainbow light turns on. And if everything's good to go, then I know that's right. So I'm going to go through the list, make sure everything is labeled correctly, working properly, and then I am done setting up my home. Now, another thing here at the top, we have the plus button. So at the plus, you have the option to add a device. So if you're going to add a new Echo device, if you're going to add a new smart home device or accessories, you would tap there so you can go through and see all the different types of devices that you might want to add into your home. There is now pretty much anything you can think of, you can get as a smart device. So if you're going to add like a Matter device, if we go down here and tap Other, it gives us the option to add Matter or a Bluetooth or Zigbee, Wi-Fi, or Z-Wave. So those are all there under the Other option. The other option here is if we want to add a group, so we can create a room. So if you don't have a room there that's one that you like, you can come down here and create a room or a device group. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to tap Next. So here we have the option to name the room or device group. So you can choose one that's already there or custom name. I'm going to go ahead and choose Garage and tap Next. And then we're going to choose what devices are in that room. So if we go through here, let's see if we can find anything labeled Garage. So there we have two that are garage door. If I have two like that, I like to add them both into the room, and then I can investigate more what both of those are. So we're going to tap Next. You're going to choose if you have any speakers in that room. I don't, so I'm just going to tap Skip, and now the garage has been created. So here we can see the garage door. If we tap Settings, this is an Aqara sensor. So right now it is currently closed. And then here, if we tap on this one, we can see that it is a ring sensor that I just put on there for my Ring Protect security system. So now I have 2 sensors in there, but it's great that I now have those working in here properly. And then if we tap the plus again, here we can create a group, and the other option was to combine rooms or groups. So maybe if you have multiple rooms in the basement that you want to connect together, you are able to do that. So here I can choose upstairs, downstairs, main floor, first floor, second floor, all bedrooms. So let's go ahead and choose first floor. Then we can go through and choose multiple groups together. So here we have the entryway, we have the den, we have the family room, and we have the living room. So I can take all those and group them together in one group, which is really cool. This is something that I can't do on another assistant, but that's really nice that I have the option to group them together. And now I could choose the speakers to set for the group that I want to play music, and so on. So that's nice that I can quickly come in here and I can adjust all of those in that specific group at a time. Let's go ahead and choose some speakers. So here, this would be the Echo in our room. So here, this would just be that one Echo device. And we're only going to have it play there when we say the group name. So play on first floor. So now under groups, we have the option for first floor that we can tap on and see all of those in one. Then if we tap plus, we have one more where we can combine speakers. So if you have multiple speakers in your house, you can create multi-room music. You can create home theaters if you have 2 of the same type of speaker, like Echo Dots or the Echo 4th generation. And then you also have the option to create a stereo pair paired with an Echo sub. So a lot of cool different music combinations that you can do there. So that is the devices tab. Now last we have the More tab. This is where they've moved everything to get certain things connected to your Amazon smart home. So at the top here we have music and more. So we can come in here and link services. So you have things like Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, Tidal, Audible, all that stuff can be linked in here. And you can choose if it's available for the family and if there's a filter and so on. So that's the music. Here you have the Communicate tab. So it moved from down here up to here. So I have the option to call, I can share pictures, I can still drop in and announce on certain devices or with my different contacts. Here we have lists and more. So if you have a shopping list, you can come in here, you can see that shopping list. Here you can see it saying, hey, these are popular items. And there we have our shopping list. So there are currently 8 items on there. Here you can see the reminders that you've made. You have your calendar. So here it's syncing my Google Calendar. You have alarms and timers that have been set. So it's going to ask for permission to make timers based on the weather and so on. Here we have our routines. So this is where you're going to create a routine where you ask it something and certain things automatically adjust, or maybe by the time of the day, certain things adjust and so on. So that's all been moved to right there. Here we have skills and games. So if you want to add different games or skills, smart home skills to your Alexa devices, this is where you will do that. If we swipe over, we have the option to check for updates of things that are happening on certain interests. Here you have automotive, so you can connect to your car's vehicle. Next, you have blueprint. So this is kind of like a new way that you can create your own type of skill. I haven't played with this too much. Here you have other things to try. So if you just want to learn more about what you can do with your smart speakers, you have this option. Then here you have an emergency assist. So fast access to emergency help with the Alexa Emergency Assist. So this is going to be 24/7 support, but now this is a subscription. So before it was Alexa Guard, but now you need to come in here and pay for the subscription to use that. Here we have Alexa Together. So I've made a bit about this on a video in the past where you can actually link to maybe a parent's home to have access to their devices, and it works together so you can get more information about when they start using the device in the morning, or you can easily drop in on their home. So here there is a 30-day trial if you want to learn more about this, but that's been a great feature that I've always liked about the Amazon Echo speakers, that they can communicate with each other. Here we have Find My. So if you have certain Amazon devices, you can use this to locate them. Here are my Echo Buds. And then here we have a cooking library. So we can find recipes so that we can then automatically have them open up on here and cook while we are in the kitchen with the Echo Show display. So those are all the different settings in the back here. And then here you have the option to go through and adjust more of the settings that we've kind of shown before, and notifications and so on. Now let's head back to home. And one of the things that I've talked about before is how you can link your Ring cameras to your Echo Show to have them pop up on here. I do want to double check one setting before we end this to see if that is working properly. So I'm going to go into my cameras here. So right now I don't have access to the cameras here. So I'm going to head back into the Ring app, and then I'm going to tap on Menu, and I'm going to go down to Control Center. And then here I'm going to Amazon Account Linking. And now we're going to link our Amazon account and agree and continue. And here we're going to type in our Amazon password.
Then we're going to verify and continue, and we'll need to type in the password and sign in one more time.
So now that my account is linked, I'm going to scroll down here, and we have Alexa devices on your linked Amazon account. And now we can go through and turn on what devices we want to have linked. I then need to go through and enable access from my Ring account to the Amazon Alexa app. Let's head back there. Now we can see all of our different Ring devices. So here on the front doorbell, I then can go into the doorbell, tap settings, and now I have the option to choose what devices are going to announce when the doorbell is pressed. So here I can go through and choose all of these. Here I have my Echo Hub selected. I could choose Echo Show devices or other Echo speakers. Once I'm done, I can go back, and then when the doorbell is pressed, it will show up on my Echo Show device.
Someone is at the front door.
Over the last few days and many hours later, I have pretty much organized everything in my Alexa app. Now, I learned a few things along the way. Now, I mentioned before that you aren't able to see what devices have been moved into room, and you can. Let me show you how to do that. So if you are on the Devices tab and you're looking right here, this is just showing the names of the devices and if they've been recently added, not giving you much more info than that right on this screen. But if we go into a group, so let's go into one of these groups, and I'm going to check out what's in there. But I see I'm missing something in this group, so I'm going to tap Edit. Here you can see that if we scroll down, it's showing all of my devices, and it's showing which ones have been entered into a room. So those are already in a room. If you scroll down a bit more, you can see all these have rooms. Let's see, this one right here doesn't have a room. Okay, I need to go and add front door into a room. And I'm going to go back, and then another way in which you can actually see this, which is actually better, is if you're creating a brand new room. It will tell you only the devices that have not been entered a room instead of having to go through that full list. So I'm going to go to Groups, select See All, and here I'm going to create a group. Here we're going to create a room, and this one we are going to name Porch. So we need to do a custom name, or we could call it Front Porch, whatever you want to do. Front Porch. And now it's showing all the devices that are not in groups. So whenever you create a new room, you can see this. There's no other way to see just this list. So here we have a few devices that I don't know where they go. Then here we have the front door. We have the front porch light. And then we have the Nest doorbell. And here we have a porch and a porch light. So I might need to double check where those are, but I like to add them into a room and then I can figure out where they go. And then I think that's pretty much everything that I need for the front porch. So now we're going to select next. Here it's asking if we have any speakers in that room or TVs, and nope, we're going to select skip and done. So now we've gone and created a new room. We've moved those devices into the room, and here we can then view them. So here, if I tap on the front door, this is the new Ring doorbell that I have. So I'm going to be able to see that here. And then in here, this is where I can adjust what devices are going to be notified when somebody rings the doorbell. So here we have my glasses, my Echo Show 10, Echo Show 15, Echo Show 8 are all ready to receive those notifications from a doorbell press. So that was pretty cool that I was able to figure that out. And then the only other thing that I really need to do is make sure all my devices have been added in. So let me again go and show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to More, and I'm going to tap Skills and Games right here. So I noticed I'm missing my smart thermostats. So here I have one from
Ecobee. So we're just going to type in Ecobee to search.
So here they have actually 2 skills, but I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, and we're going to enable to use, and then I'll need to sign into my account. And here we are going to accept, and then that's giving permission for the Amazon app to be able to pull in all those devices. We're going to tap next, and you'll see whenever you add new devices, you'll see that pop up that a device has been added into your home. And now it's asking, all right, where do we want the bedroom? Oh, so it's actually my thermostat as well as the temperature sensor that I have. So let's go ahead and set up main floor, and we're going to add this into the living room. So let's add that to the group. And now we're going to get the option to add the other one. So bedroom. So this is just a sensor. We're going to add it into the bedroom. So back in the devices list, we have these new devices that we've added at the top. I can tap on main floor. Here it gives me the option to adjust the heating mode, and then I can adjust the temperature right there at the top. And I have a couple more settings where I could change the name of it and so on in here. Now, one thing I noticed that if you have a skill that you're no longer using and you remove that skill, the device stays in the app. But now I have another thermostat that I've linked through Nest thermostat, but I've already linked Nest. So in order to have that device pop up, if it didn't already when you added the device to your Nest app, is what you can do is go through and relink the Nest skill. When you do that, it's going to take any new devices and pull them in, and any other devices that it didn't already have in the app. So I did this with Hue. I already had 10 Hue lights in the app. When I relinked, it added the extra 5 Hue lights that I had and did not duplicate the other 10, which was cool to see. Sometimes there might be some duplication. But let's see if we can add the Nest thermostat. So here I'm going to tap the plus up here. We're going to add device. Here at the top, you can search for the type or the brand. Let's go scroll down here and see thermostat. And here we have a Google Nest thermostat. And here it says add thermostat into the Nest app. Okay, we've already done that, and connect. So now I need to go through the process to discover new devices because I have already linked the Google Nest skill. So now it's going to see if it can find anything new. All right, so here it says 26 devices found and connected. So let's go next and see what those are. All right, so it went through and found all the devices that I have actually deleted from the app. So if I don't want these specific devices to come in, I'd need to delete them from the original app or remove that skill. But here I found the one I need, which is Loft. So we're going to select Loft, and we're going to put this into the Loft and add to group. And now it's saying, do you want to add this into a skill? We're not going to do that. Skip and continue. And here we can go through and see if there's any more that we need to add, but I don't have any of these that I want to add right now. So we're going to close that out. So now if we go into the Loft, we have a new device called Loft, and that's not what I wanted. All right, that option didn't work. Let's go ahead and disable the skill and add it back in.
Now, sometimes you will need to do this because certain devices require authentication. So doing this, I'm going to be able to re-authenticate my Google account and choose the devices I want in the Alexa app.
And here we needed to add access to the upstairs thermostat. And here it's saying, do you want it to have access to your cameras? So here we can choose other cameras. So here we're going to choose what permissions we want per camera, and then we need to link to our account. Now, over time, you may need to relink certain skills if certain devices aren't popping in so that you have all the right devices in your app. All right, so here it found 4 new devices. There we have the doorbell, we have another doorbell, we have the Loft, and the backyard camera. So first, let's start with the Loft. Add that in. That should be our thermostat. Now, after doing that, it has now been added into our home. So there we can see the Loft right there. I can adjust the temperature, change the heating mode. And then if I go under my devices and see all, I'm going to have it in the specific room. So now you can see I have all my devices sorted in the different areas that I want them to be in. I can go under the home. I can add my favorites here. So if I wanted to add the thermostat there, I now have the option to do that. The one thing I can't figure out is how to get rid of the media play bar right here at the bottom. Once I asked it to play some music on the speaker, that shut up and I can't get it to go away. But now we pretty much have everything sorted into our app. So we can come up here and quickly view all those different devices. So if I want to see my lights, I can tap lights. It's going to show them by room. I have the option to turn them all off, turn them all on, and so on. I can look at my climate. I can see my different thermostats that I have there now. I can see different cameras. So certain cameras are going to load. Like if you do have a Ring camera, you'll be able to see them available in here. There we have the playroom. Here I have the front door. So I like that those can instantly show up. And other ones, like if you have Echo Show, you'll be able to tap on it and view the camera there. I can see different locks that I have that I can lock right here in the app and change the settings, plugs, switches, robots, music, shopping lists, and more. So there you go. That is an overview of how you can organize the new version of the Amazon Alexa app. I hope this was helpful in teaching you more about what it can do. If you have any further questions, I'd love to know about them. So please let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to check out more about what your Amazon devices can do, make sure you hit subscribe, as I'll be uploading all kinds of new videos about the Amazon smart home ecosystem. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.